Okay, so hello and welcome back, everyone. So today is our final day, our conclusion. So we're wrapping up our project here. I'm just going in with the resin. So I wanted to take some time out to talk. We talked about the father yesterday, right? So now we're going to get into just the woman, not a mother, blah, 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 just a woman, and how God favors the women, and how God will always, no matter who or what you are dealing with, best believe that God is working on those around you, when they're hiding like some type of animosity, when they're sending you bad energy, or when they're treating you disgustingly. And we're more so talking about relationships, okay? Us women, with dealing with relationships and having to deal with partners. Your decision at the end of the day is your decision about what you want to do, if you want to stay or if you want to go. But best believe that God will always have your back, you know? So during the times to where you're going through things with your spouse or with your partner, because men become very unreasonable, but women can too. But during the time to where you are in harmony with yourself, you are good within yourself, and you're noticing how this man is acting crazy, or unusual, or being, like I said, pretty much unreasonable. You know, every argument doesn't require for you to show up. Sometimes you can just walk away. And what I've noticed, sometimes God is working on that man and you don't know God is working on that man. But because you are there and the things that this man is going through within his head, within his mind, it's kind of like God is putting the pressure on him. And he has to release it. And if you are too available, if you are too much around and in his face, it's like a man's nature to where when they become unreasonable, it's like they treat you like a punching bag. And, it can leave a very bitter taste in your mouth, because a lot of the times, the man is the protector. He's not, you he's the protector of the physical. He's supposed to be protecting your consciousness, your emotion, your spirit, and you are supposed to be doing the same thing for him as well. So it's kind of like, when your protector kind of turns on you, it makes you feel stripped. And this is subconsciously speaking, because when you're angry, the brain tells you you're angry from how he's making you feel and the things that you see from him. But in all actuality, there is a unsteadiness of faith that is being planted within you when it comes to him. Because sometimes, people, everybody is an individual, and some individuals will plunge into dark places that only God can pull them out of. So, sometimes this is why I encourage meditation, and especially women just getting more into themselves and not worrying so much about men. Like when a man is going through something, you can be supportive, but ultimately you need to allow him to be a man and figure shit out for himself. Just like with you as a woman as well. You need time to figure things out for yourself, and you need to learn things with dignity. So, next time you get into an argument, you want to breathe, take a breath, interrupt the pattern of your anger and the energy that he's trying to transfer to you. When it comes to men, sometimes, they need like a mental boost. So drama, arguments, all of this, all of that energy that you give to him, it's kind of like he powers up off of that, right? But he must learn to take responsibility for his own mental health, to where you're being exhausted and he's pulling from you, he's re-energizing himself off of you. So he's using you as a battery, because mentally he's tired and he can't put it together. He can't figure it out. So he needs a little fire. Okay, now you can help create that fire for him in a different way, but you don't have to exhaust yourself with doing it. And sometimes when a man is mentally depleted, he becomes very needy. He's very self-sufficient, very independent, but you notice it's kind of like, oh, he needs this, he needs that, and you notice that he's not thinking clearly. Okay, so that's a sign he need to be working on that mental health. You know what I'm saying? And if there are things that needs to be addressed that he wants to talk to you about, then he needs to be strong and bold enough and honest with communicating with you. Protection, the number one tool for protection really is honesty. So He needs to be honest. He needs to be able to open up and communicate. But the truth and reality is that some men are just not that way, and it's not your responsibility. You can definitely say something. You can be the example, but you can't be like sitting there, like nagging at him and beating up on him and demasculating him and comparing him to the next man, right? Because you don't want to deal with that yourself neither. You wouldn't appreciate him doing that, So, just kind of take heed to what I said, rise above the bullshit, okay? Okay. Ooh, rise and shine. So we gotta go running. I just woke up with some stuff on my mind, so I have to find a solution. What is up with this? So I just kind of woke up with things on my mind. Like, my son's father was up early, and I have been doing a lot, mainly for myself and what I'm doing, but at the same time too, obviously stepping in with his fatherly duties that right now he's too absent-minded to focus on. So I'm being called in to take it on. But I'm just kind of irritated because it's just like, you woke up this morning, because I had told him yesterday he was just acting so exhausted, so him and my son, they kind of, it's a little intense with their relationship, because my son's father been grumpy, and it's kind of like, I don't know what's wrong with him, because he got good news at work and he's acting like miserable. So I'm just like, it was funny because when him and my son got into it, he was just like, oh, my dad is being grumpy again, right? So my son, he was kind of like playing on the stairs. Sometimes he go up and down the stairs. It's like 3 staircases, and it's got a balcony so you can see. So he stands on top of the balcony, and when my son's father walks through the apartment hallway, my son says, oh, look who it is. It's the grumpiest father ever, So their relationship been kind of tense. My son's father has been it's like his mind is not here once again. I'm just like, here we go with the absent-mindedness, So he's all frustrated and flustered. So I told him, I was just like, you need to snap out of it, because you act like you're so mentally exhausted, but all you did was work. And then you bullshitted at work because you got off of work early. You haven't been doing anything except for being in your phone. So I told him, I said, your phone is dissipating you. Your phone is exhausting you. Like, get out of your fucking phone. So, yesterday, I'm just like, ugh, here we go again, and I told him, I'm just like, me having to do the same thing over and over and over and over every morning. It's, like, it's keeping me insane. You need to step in sometimes with taking the fucking dog out, So he was up this morning. He was up early enough. He had the energy, and it's just like, he ain't take the dog out. So he woke me up. So I go back to sleep. He go back to sleep. I wake up, and the dog got to go out. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take care of me first. So, it's a little aggravating. He's always going through this. I need to see what's going on with him. Because it's like, you just got good news. Why are you so funky? All right, well, I have to run in here real quick and get my little girdle, okay? Woo. Had to get my little girdle. Okay, because I was going to work out in the house. Do like a little home aerobics. But I just couldn't stay in there, like, because it's kind of like, it's like he's been acting like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he's a bitchy woman. He's a nagging, bitchy, petty ass woman. That's how the shit been feeling. I'm just like, nigga, sit down. Shut your ass up. What the fuck are you complaining about? When it comes to the dog, it's like clockwork every day. We got the dog on a schedule. I said, I'm not about to sit here and be sitting in my head and then exhausting my energy and getting upset with him. I'm just going to do exactly what I want to do and get around to it when I want to get around to it. You know, like, I just feel like he should be treating the dog better. You know, I just feel like he should be treating the dog better. And it seems like I'm the only one who cares about the quality of life for the dog. But it's like, you know, I can't do it by myself. And I'm not about to sit here and put the dog before myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know the dog got to go out. You know that the dog wants to go out. Why you just don't take the dog out? You know, majority of the responsibility falls on me. So you should just you should just do shit just in between to make it life a little easier for me. And this is the type of shit, this is the type of shit to where I get mad, because it's kind of like men, it just seems like men are always trying to enslave women. It's like men want women so they don't have to do shit, that they don't want to. And, you know, sometimes, most of the time, men want a woman to where it's like she's more than him. Of course, because they want her to do all the fucking work. Because that shit was on my mind too. I'm just sitting there reflecting, thinking about stuff. I'm just like, you know, men are always trying to enslave women. That's what this shit be like. You know, it's not like he's doing back-breaking work. He's sitting behind a fucking computer. You know, so all he has to do is work on his mental health. And he has support with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, some people are so ungrateful and they take shit for granted. You know, and then when it's not accessible to them, when it's not there anymore, you know, now motherfuckers start feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got good news at work. That's all the fuck you really care about. You know what I'm saying? So life should be good, but life is not good, right? Because you think, you know, work is all you want, and I don't know, he's miserable. So I just feel like it's an entity. It's one of my entities, because one of my entities is misery. So I just feel like, you know, he may have or be harvesting some type of animosity towards me, and my entity can pick it up. You know, because I was told, like, I was being told and kind of pushed out of the house like all yesterday. You know, when we conclude our session, I don't plan on being in the house today either. But instead of me getting upset, sitting in my head, thinking about that shit, I'm just like, I'm about to go run it out. I'm not about to sit up here and waste my precious energy on his ass. You know, like, I'm not, like, me getting upset constantly getting upset with the insane shit that he does. He's keeping me insane. This is what I'm saying. It's just like, you know, some people need to be alone. And if you are one of those people to where you need to be alone, you need to be alone. But see, motherfuckers need to be alone, but they want somebody else around, because in being alone, they don't want to do all the work. You have to make a choice, because it's kind of like, you cannot be sitting up here, you know, nobody is here to be your crutch. You know, nobody is here to be your fucking crutch. So this field is big, and there's nowhere for me to set up my camera. So I guess periodically we'll just be talking or something. I'll just pull the camera out or something. Yeah, because I really don't feel like being around him. It's just like his, you know, his feminine energy, it's like so stank. You know, I told him, I said, I'm glad you're not no woman, because you're the type of woman to where a motherfucker would just want to go over the side of your head. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker just want to knock your ass out a couple of times, or just choke you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is, because it's like a nastiness. You know, it's like a nastiness that he has. It's so unnecessary. You know, and it's like, it's fishy. You know, like, his behavior just be so fucking fishy. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I could feel God on him too. So it's kind of as if he's at war with himself. It's like God and, you know, lower spirits. It's like the lower spirits are trying to take over, and like God is fighting. So in order for me to be able to support and help God with his fight with him, I have to take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? I cannot be another problem. Even if he tries to make me a problem, I know I'm not the problem. He's going through things on the inside, and he don't want to talk about it. You know, he didn't even want to tell me his good news at work. I'm just like, nigga, what is wrong with you? You act like I'm not for you. You act like I'm not going to be happy. That's what I'm saying. It's something going on with him. That's why. So, I mean, whatever. So, I'm running more like a track. Woo! So I'm just. So when I walk, okay, let's go. Shit. Might sit down. Might sit down for a little while. Hold on. Gotta keep moving. I think it's a team. Oh, the football team training. Oh shit. So they doing their laps. You can't sit down because they gonna catch up to me. Oh shit. This field, this track and field is way bigger than the shit we ran yesterday. Fuck me. Woo. Okay, one more lap and we out of here. Oh shit. God damn. That shit. Woo. I need a goddamn moment. Woo. Ooh, sweat my eye. Shit. Woo. Well, I feel a little better. I feel like I'm ready to walk the dog. Okay. Let's go home. Okay. I tell you, boy, whenever you need to get out your head, you damn sure can jump into your body. Because I'm sitting there upset with him in my head. And, somebody blew the whistle. Somebody blew the horn. You know, so I'm sitting there in my head, child, within 2 seconds. When that breathing started getting heavy, I totally forgot all about his ass. You know? Ooh. Eyes be burning. So, anyway, my skin is starting to inflame. So I'm gonna juice, but it's still kind of early. I usually don't start juicing until like 9, because, you know, a little later in the morning. What time is it? It's 9:25. Good. So when we get in there, I can just go straight to juicing. I have to clean up the kitchen, of course. And so I finished the trays. The trays are dry. You know, everything is good to go. So now we can get in there and put in our forks, okay, and organize the drawer. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh. I might have to hit that track up more. It was a little wider than the field, you know. Ooh. But first, we gotta take the dog out, you know, because the dog gotta use the bathroom. And, you know, you empathize, because it's kind of like if you had to use the bathroom, you would want, and you had to depend on somebody else, you know, to do the shit, you know, you would want them to. That's what I'm saying. Like, he don't think. He don't empathize. He's so desensitized. Didn't he get upset when I called him a narcissist? I told him, I said, well, narcissists get upset when you call them narcissists. I'm just saying. That shit is true. You know? You got to go to the bathroom. You need help. Anybody who done struggle with getting to the bathroom and they really got to use the bathroom, you know what that shit feel like. I'm not no better, because if I really was bothered by it that much, I would have took him out. But I don't want to take him out and be complaining about the shit. You know, like, I need to take care of me first. You know what I'm saying? I always get up, jump up, and take the dog out. You know, the shit, mentally, it weighs on you. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not a burden. But it's like mentally it weighs on you, because it's kind of like every day. Every day. It's two people, but the responsibility falls on one. You know, and that's another thing. Like, you know, when men provide, they feel like that's all they got to do. They feel like they don't have to be good dads. They feel like they don't have to be good partners. You know what I'm saying? And nobody has to provide for you. But at the same time, you know, don't be a dick. Because we could have a beautiful life together, you know, if you was more of a partner. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's how people block blessings. You know, dealing with a blessing blocker. Somebody who's extremely lazy. You know, somebody who's mentally exhausted all the time. So they can't think through shit. They can't see the bigger picture. Somebody who's spiritually robbed. You know, spiritually poor. So, I mean, but I mean, it is what it is. You know? Can't really judge. You know, and when you spend too much time doing all that shit exhausts you. So come on, let's take out this dog. It takes a lot of work to build yourself mentally, because it's easy to complain and say what you do, what you want, what you do want to do, and what you don't want to do. You know. Okay. So out we go. Ooh. I feel better, and I don't feel frustrated, angry, or upset. But I'm not doing shit in that house today, I'll tell you that. I'm going to be out and about. Up. You hear the horn? Yes, sir. Absolutely. Whew. Oh, shit. I got to get some bags. Maze. Oh, my. He always got to go over here and sniff. It's a raccoon that be coming over here, fucking around in the trash. So now we're entering the safari. Sometimes, you know, he's the type of dog to where he needs to be in like open field, open space, because he really likes going into these tall grasses and bushes and stuff. You know, sometimes he get in there, he gets stuck, and I got to go up in there and get him out. You know, I be scared, but I got to think quick, because it's just like, I don't know what's in there. It's a lake, you know, a lot of snakes are close to lakes. You know, then you got ticks, fleas and shit. Then it's like poison ivy out here. So, you know, I'm just like, goddamn dog. Always got to go in here. Always got to go in here and do this. Come get your ass out of the tall grass. Whew. It feels good to be out here, though. I'm glad we out here. You know, I just had to get over the bitterness of my mind. You know, so, I mean, whatever. The pup got to use the cup, right? Oh, man. she go for flushing. Friend. Come on, Maze. No, come on. Come on. No, because you not focused on using the bathroom. Now that you got out here, you trying to lollygag. But you want to act like you got to use the bathroom so fucking bad. Just be the bullshit I be talking about. Come on. I don't know why he eating grass. He don't got nothing going on with his stomach. I think he just like the taste of it. But see, he bullshit. He ain't even got to use the bathroom. Because when he got to use the bathroom, he'll come out here and go. That be that spell word. You know? Well, they plans got interrupted. So, oh well. As soon as I woke up, you know, when I did my tarot cards, that devil came out. Oh, I got turmeric on my hand. I don't know if you can see it. But that devil card came out. I was just like, who's trying to attach themselves? So they try to attach themselves to my son, father, and the dog. So obviously it's somebody who be watching or who know, like, the irritation that I get between the relationship with that man and his dog. Right. Well, and this is what I'm saying. Like, we cancel that shit out right away with not even entertaining the energy. Instead, you know, we move in the direction of a healthy distraction, which is going out and running and getting certain things off of our mind. And look, he's so scary. He's so scary. Whatever. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, your life as a very spirited person, you're going to go through a lot of spiritual warfare. You're going to go through that shit every day. Uh-oh. So, with some things, it's kind of like, just buckle up. You know, you can't run away from it. You can't, you know, you can't ignore it. You have to face it. You know, but remember, the warfare helps to build you. You know? So, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not fucking with that house today. So, and you know, you got to show men. You have to show them, like, and you have to teach them. And even when you teach them, you have to remind them. Because I'm going to tell you, he going to get upset with that house not being clean. But we had a conversation about it yesterday. And he don't want to have that conversation again. So either he not going to say nothing, and he going to shut the fuck up and wait and be patient. Or he going to try to fuss, and I'm going to walk out on his ass and make him feel unimportant. And he could be mad all the fuck he want to. And he can exhaust himself until he exhausts himself into reflecting on his behavior. Now the father falls, my darling. Watch out, CC. And the kids are actually smiling. Why does that song keep popping up? Like, every time I'm triggered about family shit, like that song, come on, that song pop in my head. Well, everybody else is wearing red. The Flushy girl from Flushing. The nanny named Friend. Come on, Maze. I guess I feel like the nanny. I mean, I absolutely do. If we were in a loving relationship, then of course I wouldn't feel this way. You know, I would feel unappreciated and taken for granted still as a partner, though. You know, come on, Mace. Come on, Mace. See, this when he start bullshitting, and I got to put him on a short leash. Because after he dump it off, honey, it's time to go. And he want to lollygag. We ain't got time for that. And see, I'm not even in a good mood to where I want to spoil his damn dog. You see how people be blocking blessings for other people? Shit. You know, my energy is not where I want it or need it to be. So I need to recharge. Come on. That, you know, and then on top of that, I have a feeling because I'm being guided to assist somebody with their child, you know, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I need to be able to do my spirit work. Come on, Mace. You tripping. I need to be able to do my spiritual work. And he, you know, so I have to make the choice to choose me before anybody else. Because I know something is going to go on with my son. You know what I'm saying? I need to be aligned with myself. We're dealing with the warfare this morning. I could tell, you know, motherfucker trying to. Come on, Maze. Motherfucker trying to knock me out or distract me out of alignment. Come on. So I don't feel like doing all that right now. Like, cleaning just gonna have to wait. Because I'm tired. I've been doing a lot, and I have a feeling I have to be doing some running around with the kids in the. What's up? No. This house can kiss my ass today because I ain't doing shit. I'm tired. But I'm gonna make my anti-inflammatory juice. So I'm gonna need my apples. Okay, so I'm gonna cut up these apples. Love without a doubt. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. With you in my space, I'll never be thirsty. Living in clarity, merrily, merrily. God's anointing all over me. I surrender, my soul be kindled. I know that we'll never be apart, never be without love, without a doubt. Love without a doubt. Love without a doubt. Any issues, work it out. Love without a doubt. Some nights I go to sleep with a heavy heart. Then the next morning I wake up to a new start. I just wanna say thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. With you in my space, I'll never be thirsty. So before I intake this, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a little pepper in here for the turmeric. Okay, you know, the body doesn't really absorb turmeric unless it's heated. So sometimes people will drink like turmeric milk, like warm turmeric milk. Turmeric is very good, but at the same time you can also help it stick with using pepper. Okay. Ooh, all you need is a shot. So it's ginger, apple, and turmeric. So I'm gonna be nice and give him a shot. Bless you. I got these shot glasses from a party. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So I'm just gonna drink the rest of this. Cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is going to wrap up our session. Planting the seeds for getting closer to God. Okay, this is the guidance. We plant the seeds, you know, we don't jump into trying to make things happen right away. It is a process. It takes time. Enjoy your process and enjoy the time. You know, it is about the journey. It's about the ride. It's not about the destination. Okay, so I mean, we have completed our session and you see the outcome. I'm showing you the drawers. I'm going to show you both of the drawers. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the other one here. And voila, until I find out what to do. Okay.